Welcome back. We're here to cover the Divine Feminine read, and we are going to take a deep dive into what is going on with you this week. Now, do remember these energies are fluid, and you may also get a message from these updates whenever you land on such. Okay, now the first thing I'm really noticing, and it's the synchronistic pattern, and I feel that Divine Feminine is coming to this light and revelation, especially where in the past maybe and this could be something going on at the moment that is going to give you the revelation. I feel as though there are sections of your life that you could be coming into where you directly feel you are not content with, you don't resonate with, and there's some disconnect from something. There's some feeling of disconnect. I'm also feeling the storyline surrounding your twin flame path. There could be subjects where you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together and finding patterns, but also wondering what the big purpose of this stage of your personal journey is and where you're going moving forward. And I do feel you're going to have the revelation around this as you do proceed forward through the week. I sense psychically that you're going to ebb and flow through it. So there's going to be moments of really being present, really wanting to look at your path moving forward, and then a regression going backwards to move forward somehow. So I do get this sense that it is almost like you're in the here and now, but you're also drifting back and forward between the consciousness of your counterpart and the connection, and also how that interlinks with where you are right now and what it's going to mean moving forward. So don't be surprised if you are getting to a stage where you're looking at your life and it's quite pixelated and it's not quite completely making sense yet, but you're trying to make some sense of it, but you're definitely aware of what you're not kind of content with. I do sense you could be looking at some patterns here, and it could be patterns with this person, patterns with what's happened today about where you are. And again, another thing I'm picking up on, this could be coming through in your family as well. But again, I do think it's very intellectual. I do think this is very mental and intellectual. You could be looking at all sides of the coin at this point in time. And some of these themes can be coming up moving into Christmas. Now, I do get this feeling where in the past maybe you weren't linking things, you weren't seeing how maybe something that you personally can do can actually shift. And a lot of times we don't tend to see this because, you know, what other people do is very much in our theory out of our control. But when we do have the kind of transformations at a further point in the path, which is really some of the content I'm going to be doing in 2025, to really key point where you are on your journey to aid you through each step of that way, is, you know, this past position energy, you may have felt like you were the black sheep of the family. You might have felt like quite out of sync linking to this twin flame path, like what part in it, you know, was theirs and what part of it was yours, and, you know, what it is today, not just what it was yesterday. I feel for some reason, and this can be coming through for you, your energy at a very different level, is that you can become extremely influential moving forward, more so than you know, the further into your ascension process you get. And I do sense a part of it, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a lot of changes. There are a lot of changes that you have been through. Whenever we see 5s, it is to do with changes and they're radical things. And I feel spiritually also for, especially depending on the wave twin you are, the ones that are further back in the path are going to be accelerated. The ones that have been in separation in and out for a while and you've been on the path for a while, I feel your gifts are upgrading too. And I do get this sense at the moment that you are going to be really diving into your passion. Okay, she offers the scarred wine, so drink. And again, it could be somebody that gives you advice. It could be also a way in which you are delivering a message that, you know, and this can be to somebody, this could be to a group of friends. You could be, and the sense I get is this energy is quite detached. So it's not coming through in a narcissistic way. It's not coming through in a brash or insulting way. It's light and soft, but it's also very direct. And I think if you can take that approach moving forward, I think it's going to aid you. But for some reason, I feel you're extremely cautious and observant. And I also feel that this could be, for some of you, a conversation that you have with your counterpart. But I do feel a lot of intellectualism here. You're raising the bar. You're raising the bar not only for yourself, but the collective. And so I get this sense that not only within your own personal journey and your twin flame partnership and how it's about to unfold, I also get your destiny is also changing. And this can be a reset. So if you do feel you're integrating and you do feel you're reassessing and wanting to wipe the slate clean, wanting to tear everything down, I just really wouldn't be surprised. But I do feel whatever is being removed and shifted about, it can be a longer process that we anticipate, but it is going to be, it's not that we're not going to see those changes right away. That's what I'm trying to say so it actually lands correctly. Yeah, from nothing to everything, I feel that, you know, when we do actually tap into our worthiness and we are tapping into what we're wanting to co-create, both within the connection and within our own personal lives, I feel you're trying to merge both worlds. I feel, you know, some of the spiritual blockages that could have been blocking this path could be a 3D circumstance. But it won't just be happening on their side of the fence. It could be a subconscious belief that you're embodying and holding. And I think that you're working through it. There are some revelations yet again. This is, okay, we have one. You know, especially when we see the ones, universe is trying to tell you that this new path is starting. It's going from 0 to 1. This new path is starting. But again, it may feel as though something's missing. I think when we're integrating and we're becoming whole, it's the twos we're moving into. So what they're trying to say is, if you're missing some tools, if you don't have solutions, if you haven't quite stumbled across this whole way of how to achieve something, they are saying, just first acknowledge what it is that you want. And that's the stage you're in at the moment, is, you know, determining exactly what you're wanting to achieve. Don't go into the here and now of trying to find all the solutions because they're saying that's going to block you making a decision. But there could be something that you're needing to make a decision on and needing to be quite fluid with. And I feel if you just make the decision and put it out to the ethers, universe is going to bring you the solutions. I do still feel we are cycling out, even though we are theoretically moving into this new energy over the next 20 odd years, especially with Pluto entering into Aquarius. I still very much feel towards the end of the year and into January 2025, we can be cycling out that Capricorn energy. So karmic partnerships are really going to start transforming, shifting, ending and evolving. Okay, so there is that dynamic within our own personal lives as well as within the collective. Ooh. Okay, we're going. There could be something that you're worried about making the incorrect decision with. You may be feeling, okay, yeah, raise the bar. They're saying raise the bar. Don't fall for the, there could be this rebellious energy that's coming through with you. You also, again, I just keep feeling that you're trying to problem solve. I do feel it's going to come to you. You could have this feeling at the moment of really baffled why, just an example, could be, you know, the good girls win. And that's one very basic kind of analogy, because this card is really oozing to me this feeling that why is it that there can be other people that rise to the top and they can be lower frequency, they can get what they want, they can be quite manipulative. This can be a karmic energy, and this can be a huge weariness that you're actually feeling within this, and it's like a journey that you're going down and you spiritually feel as though you're evolved. And this is going to be for those of you in communication or not. This is a frequency that is coming through. It can feel like a spiritual evolution and a test, but it is a transformation. And for some reason, the universe is really saying to me, you're on the up and up here. Lead by example. Don't get too stressed. Your guides are actually spiritually protecting you. You could feel like you're seeing something maybe that others don't, and that's okay. Again, I don't know why I'm feeling the sense of keep it to yourself, but I think it's something you're just naturally doing. You're trying to really hone in and work through, though. It could be a demon energy, isn't a spiritual kind of trigger that you're working through, and not wanting to relate to it in the same way. So, working with that, I feel, is your power. And I also feel this is giving you a bit of pause to do some self-reflection, and I would say an upgrade. But at the same time, it's giving you time to really reserve your judgment until you can see what the outcome's going to be. But there can be some anxiety associated to this. Yeah, you do sense something's up. You do sense something's off. I don't know why. People are coming to you for advice. And look, I do know why they're coming to you with advice, but the sense is you're like, why do people come and, why are people asking me advice from the truth hurts and they just can't, it's a bitter pill to swallow. They're not really wanting to listen. Some of you are very fed up. You're like, okay, it could be going on deaf ears when you're talking to your twin and you're like, look, I've given you the PDF. You know what I need out of you. Be it on the 5D or the 3D, this energy is transforming, you're integrating. But it could be that you're wary about articulating this any further. I'm going to clarify because they want us to dig deeper. They keep bringing me back to the heart of this. So it is that you do have empathy, but it's also like you're questioning this. You're like, okay, I've got my little crystal ball here. I'm seeing something. I'm feeling something. Do I want to look to the future? Do I need to take, I don't know why I keep getting, do I need to take my own advice? Yeah, there's a lot of inner child coming up. That there could be a need at the moment for you to have fun, but you're wary about having fun because, if you do let your inhibition out, you're just wondering if you'll go back to that cage. You are looking at maybe a circumstance surrounding, for some of you, it could be your childhood. For some of you, this could be a family-related dynamic. But you're wanting to be more playful with it, but you have this urgency and this sense of being very mature at the same time. So it's a pendulum and it's swinging both ways at this point in time. Yeah, you just don't. Bless. Okay. You're like, okay, I see the bigger thing. I do feel that both parties here are going to be on the same page. Those of you that aren't in communication, my guides are actually saying that both of you are going through a transformative state. Both of you are very kind of sunken in the ethers, and you're very much going through a similar thing at this point in time. One is not feeling as one is a little bit too 3D. The other is actually seeing it in the 3D. And for some reason, divine feminine. This person really wants to see you. You could be really wanting to go into hermit mode for some of you. But I'm hearing the term the proof is going to be in the pudding. And this is actually going to build the connection between the both of you. Oh, I tell you. Now, okay, why do they want me to tell you this? Okay, I'm going back to the title, and I've just seen a few cards, and it's to do with one. Okay, the oneness, the center, where you're going. I feel that because both of you are going through a similar thing, you're both going to be able to see both sides of the coin, and this is really going to determine the outcome. And I feel this outcome is going to be very positive. You might need to reserve your, what would I say? Something could get messy. This looks like it'd be alchemy. Let's take a look. Do you want, yeah, something's going to be cut off, but it's actually like, oh God. They're giving me too many storylines of them, too many analogies, rather. Many times my guides will actually show me different things to build upon the story. Yeah, it's like you're going to physically see it, but it's like something is going to come to a head to force this circumstance to shift. I feel your gut feelings, your instincts. You know something's done. You know something's over. But the other individual, for some reason, maybe also, and going back to the reference point of, Pluto's exited Capricorn, does that mean it's over? I feel there's that residue frequency that's clearing it out, especially with the pressure points of Pluto moving into Aquarius. I just get this signature of having to face some hard truths. And I feel you're the one who's leading by example. There could be, like I said, simultaneously, both of you are going through something very similar. Both of you are looking at what you are content with and what you're not. You, as a signature point, have already raised the bar there. You are, of the collective, but also of how people can deal with you. There can be some gates, there can be some perimeters, there can be some no's, and that's okay. Somebody may be wanting you to look or deal with something in a different way. I do get that you are going to see a radical shift with your counterpart. And this, I feel it's like whatever this closing out is something that is going to be quite final and quite quick. We will check in with this energy next week. Make sure to check out the other editions for the masculine and the karmic to get a whole story. Otherwise, we will see you on the other side soon.